Gather around, people of Eldamere, as the days grow short and the nights begin to chill, and bask in the warmth of their Royal Majesties of Eldamere, Rattanicus, and Isabel, King by right of arms and Queen of inspiration. Herein opens their court.
Thank you, Your Grace, for such a lovely introduction. We just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming out today. It's been a little while since we've seen everybody, and we're really excited about tonight. We're looking very much forward to doing this court and then getting on to some shenanigans with some Baldric and some Q&A stuff that I'm a little afraid of.
With Duchess Adrielle. So I think we wanted to start the evening by talking about all the amazing things people have been doing over the last few months during these wonderful plague times. So many people have been contributing to the online content to help kind of keep that sense of community going through these long months where we can't get together in person. So we wanted to recognize some of those efforts.
Well, we're hoping to recognize, but we need award recommendations.
Yes. So while we have some people that we want to recognize this evening, we would like to hear more from the kingdom. If you know anybody who, we've only been doing Scroll of Honor at this point, but if you guys can think of anybody who might want to receive an award virtually in this forum, let us know. We aren't against doing it if that's what the recipient would want, what they would appreciate. We haven't heard that from people in general, but it is something we are willing to do because ultimately we want this to be what's best for the recipient, and we want to be able to recognize people for all of the awesome things that they do. So
this would be maybe a good time if somebody can't make events on a regular basis, that we might be able to recognize them in this forum instead.
Yeah.
So if people could please let us know if there's anybody that would like to see that. That would be great.
Exactly. So, but tonight we want to recognize the oodles and oodles of people who have been creating and getting the online content. So, Your Grace, if you could talk about all the awesome people being put on the Scroll of Honor this evening.
There is a lot of awesome people in this kingdom. There really is.
The Majesties wish it to be known that the following people have been placed on the Scroll of Honor for creation and contribution to online content and/or events: Baron Alexander Gladstone, Baron Alistair Kirk, Baroness Annika the Furious, Lord Arokin Bjarnson, Baroness Aveline Wexicombe of Great Bedwin, Count Baldric Lehman Newcastle of Emlyn, Viscountess Killen McDermott, Master Colin Stewart, His Lordship Dietrich von Saxon, Lady Duchessa Ingen Ul-Imelum, Duke Edward the Red, Her Ladyship Emilo of Calais, Lady Erzsébet of Terg's Vista, Lord Evan Quicktongue, Mistress Irene Omar's daughter, Fisher of Ben Dumforth, Lord Gwillick Phyllis Bracken, Helen Baumander, Lord Joffer Rodson, Her Ladyship Lee Z of Avacal, Countess Leda Lang Ackeston, Baroness Lucia de Morans, Lady Liesel Woolmonger, Maggie the Fish, Margaret Young, Mistress Marie L'Anglaise, Master Martin Bildner, Lord Matthias Lindenhaus von Schaffenhaus, Nicola Canis, Mistress Odette de Saint Remy, Her Ladyship Orla O'Shanahan, Baron Percival de la Roque, Rhys of Anglesey, Sir Richard Larmer, Lord Rorik of Septentria, Lord Rubeus, Duchess Ryland Buchanan, Her Ladyship Thorfina Grafelder, His Lordship Thorstein Svensson, Mistress Gwen Kennedell of Roxburgh, the Eldamere Cooks Guild. Missed on the previous list from last court of those they would like to add the following frontline workers to the Scroll of Honor. His Lordship James Edgerson. And also they would like to point out that these awesome people were on the last list, but they are already continuing to contribute. And they include Sir Elfwin at Langwooda, Lady Bayok, Lord Bjorn Yarson, Dame Eleanor Cadfin, Her Ladyship Emmer Ingen Ul Aiden, Mistress Lucia de Enenza, Magistrate Nicola de Bracton, Mistress Sky Vyacheslava Christiana Vyacheslava, I mangled that, my apologies, Your Excellency.
How do I mute?
All right.
No video.
Thank you, Your Grace. So many people have been contributing to the Eldemare at Home, helping with Castle Lupenstein, which was super fun, and we want to do some more of that. The Eldemare Cooks Guild doing Eldemare Eats every week. It's
inspiring. It's awe-inspiring, actually.
Exactly. And those that have run online events. So we've had everybody who helped make Online Fool happen, and everyone who did the Cloth of Guilt and Online Trillium War and the Online Lady, all the way back to an Online Lady Mary, and just everyone has really kind of helped bring so much more stuff to the online. And I know it's not where any of us is really comfortable. So
there's two honorable mentions that I'd like to really make about the online content.
Sure.
Well, three actually. Colin and Thorfina, you're knocking it out of the park. You really are. The other one is Your Grace for Island. You pulled together Fool, and everything went wrong. You still pulled it off. It was amazing. And you were one of the first ones to actually, you were the guinea pigs for the known world, believe it or not. Up until that point, there hadn't been that big an online event. And since then, they're all over the known world. So congratulations on pulling that off. The other person I want to recognize, and we were very honored to have the Honorable Lady Emmer represent Eldemare in the Known World Bardic showcase. We were unfortunately busy moving our daughter in that day, so we weren't able to be part of it, but we were on the way home. Live streaming it from Facebook in our car on the way home. So we were able to catch it, and we were so proud of the effort that Emmer made for Eldemare in representing us there. Yeah. She was actually given the honor spot of closing out the show. The amount of content that's coming out, guys, thank you so much. Yeah, and Colin and Thorfina are responsible for most of it. All of the videos that have been coming out and that have been posted to Eldemare at Home, Colin and Thorfina are the primary editors and the driving force, and they keep us on task and make sure that I interview all of the Kingdom officers when I'm supposed to, remind me of deadlines and everybody else. So they are just amazing. But at the same time, here's a little plug. If you want to help with Eldemare at Home, want to be a spotlighted artisan or any of those things, please reach out. You can reach out to us. You can reach out to Colin and Thorfina directly. We'll get you hooked up. We have a Facebook group where we discuss the upcoming projects that we're working on for that. So yeah, the other thing is we've got quite the interesting mystery happening in the Kingdom right now. Agreed. And we're very, very concerned about. It's Nicola. It's not you. It's Nicola. I don't know. We're very, very concerned about our poor Baron Daffod. Baron Daffod, he's gone missing. My border almost doesn't feel secure. Oh,
I know we're concerned.
yes.
I mean, but the Baron, of course, and
Yes.
not, but.
Yeah, how am I going to collect my taxes?
So if anyone knows anything about what's happened to our good Baron Daphnis Grailingall thing, and they want to see some of the interviews that have been posted to the kingdom about the those suspects in his
Adrielle saying I did
disappearance.
not do it.
Oh,
Adrielle is an awful good suspect, actually.
I think so.
Yeah. But we'd like to thank everybody that's put this this together. Some of you are brand new to this kingdom, and we appreciate everything you're doing. So, on that note,
Officer
For
changes.
their majesties and for those people that are keeping us well connected. Wassail.
Thank you.
Wassail.
So, Your Majesties, you were speaking of smooth running of the kingdom, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Then it is my absolute honor to announce that his Lord Evan Quicktongue has completed his 2-year tenure as our chronicler, and we thank him for that service, I'm sure.
do we have to let him go?
Yes, Your Majesty, you do, because you have a very competent, qualified replacement. Her Excellency,
This is sounding good.
yes, Her Excellency Augusta Wayfair has agreed to take the position and continue to publish your newsletter.
Yay!
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you, Evan, for all of your hard work as the chronicler. It's been lovely working with you, both while I was seneschal and as the crown. And yeah,
And we have
welcome, Augusta.
we have full confidence in Augusta. I'm expecting some amazing artwork for some reason. I don't know why.
Also, Your Majesties, your exchequer, Jane Caldwell, would like the kingdom to know that her successor has also been chosen. Her Ladyship Petra of Septentria has agreed to take over in January-ish.
Yes.
Excellent.
Excellent. So your coffers will be well taken care of too.
Wonderful.
That's very important, especially, you know, if Baron Daffit has anything to say about that. It might be a little lower than normal.
It's true. It is true.
Ransoms.
Unfortunately, Your Majesties, I have not been so successful in finding a successor for myself. So I am going to put this out there publicly that I am looking for a replacement Trillium Herald. I am due to step down next May. And if anybody is interested in the position, they should contact me and we will have a nice discussion about it. So thank you.
Yeah, you're doing a wonderful job, but the time does come where you want to step down. I do understand.
Absolutely, as Your Majesties can well attest, I'm sure.
Thank you for that, Duchess Ryland.
So maybe a wassail for the
For this
outgoing
wassail,
officers?
for those incoming officers and for those officers that have successfully completed their tenures. Wassail.
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 Now we come to the sad news.
Yes. So for those that haven't been watching the news or listening to the announcements today, although we were going to be announcing this in court this evening, it seems that the province of Ontario has also had a similar feeling that as we do with the numbers going up. So the Privy Council had discussed it and voted on it, and we were going to be announcing it tonight anyway. But again, the province has also done a rollback. So unfortunately, based off of our reopening guidelines that we've put in place, that the Privy Council has agreed on, we will be rolling the kingdom back to phase 1, which we were hoping would be a little farther down the road, so that people could take advantage of the warmer weather while it was still here. But again, if you haven't seen it yet, the province has rolled back all regions to indoor gatherings of only 10 people and outdoor gatherings of 25. And with the numbers over 400 new cases for the last couple of days, unfortunately, we are also going to be rolling back the kingdom to phase 1. So when hopefully it gets under control, but unfortunately I'm concerned that by the time that it does get back under control again, it'll be too cold to meet outside, although I'm sure some people will do it. So hopefully, wear your masks, everyone. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands, and hopefully we can get to phase 2 again, but this is really what's kind of best for everybody. So
yeah, unfortunately, I know some groups are meeting and have been doing a really good job of following all the guidelines, but for the safety of everybody, and also not even just the safety, the fines that are out there for officers that are organizing this now are crazy. So we don't want to see anybody get fined either. So.
Correct. So unfortunately, that is where we're at.
We're going to be back in phase 1 as of immediately
as of today. So
basically, that means if those for those that don't understand, we're back to online presence only. Is essentially what it means.
No meetings, no gatherings, no official any of the things, which
makes us all sad.
Very sad.
Yes.
Very, very sad.
So,
want to happier things, Your Majesties?
Oh,
yes,
if we could, that
please.
would be wonderful.
What have we got?
Mask challenge! Heraldic mask challenge!
Right? So we did an episode of Eldamir at Home where we showed a video clip that Baron Alexander helped us put together of the masks that people have been making and have submitted. There's still more time. We would like to do a compilation at the end of October where we can get more masks, giving people more time, because clearly we're all going to be wearing them for quite some time. So we want to see your heraldic masks. So if you don't have heraldry and you want to put your own heraldry on it, you can reach out to any of our heralds, especially Duchess Ryland, because I know she's excited about people getting heraldry. And but it can be your heraldry, your badge, it could be populist badge, it could be your baronial badges, it can be household things, whatever you want, really, that kind of, within, I think.
Yeah. And if people can send their photos to photos by Alex at kojico.ca.
Yes. So, let's see, I got my mask completed. So more masks, more photos, if they could people can send them in. For those that have joined it, we did create a Facebook page for ourselves. And we've already put the mask challenge up there so that it's got the information for what we're looking for and when the submissions are due and stuff. And we're gonna be adding to it. We'll be posting our tidings letters there. We'll be posting the next one that we're about to talk about, and our future courts and those kind of things. We'll be posting that kind of information there, so it's all together in an easy place for people to find. So the next is ponies. It's all about the ponies.
Buttercup Sprinkles! So Buttercup Sprinkles is feeling pretty lonely doing all the training all by himself. So he's hoping to see, we're hoping to see the barding and training videos of all our ponies.
Our young and young at heart.
Exactly.
Who have ponies. And maybe you want to submit photos of the barding that they've created, or a short video, I believe.
Short videos can be sent to the Eldamir at Home, but they need to, if they're a minor, they have to have a release signed by their parents before we can do it.
So we will put on the Kingdom book page and on our Facebook page the information to where to submit things for that, so that parents can And like I said, our youth and our young at heart can submit pictures of their ponies and their barding and any work they've done.
Especially training, because it's hard work training your pony.
If anybody has watched the last episode of Eldemir at Home, and I believe the next one will also have some video of His Majesty training Buttercup Sprinkles. So, yeah. And he needs to make his own barding mitts.
Are there more ponies to be had, Your Majesty?
There is. If people would like more that still want a pony, we would be happy to ship out some ponies for sure.
Yes, they just need to email us with an address and the name of the where it's going, and we will send out some more ponies until we run out of them, and we still have a bunch. So we will gladly send out more because our late cavalry needs to be trained. They're getting bored. There's only the 2 of us. We can't train them all ourselves. So what else were we gonna do?
Oh, we were going to talk about our themes for our upcoming courts.
So yes, so we had planned, we have decided that we would do, trying to keep it consistent, do at least 1 court a month. The dates are all on the kingdom, calendar already, so that they're already there and blocked out. It's the 3rd Saturday of each month that we plan to do them, so there'll be maybe a bit of court, random shenanigans, or it'll change each month. So we've decided to try and do some themes. So October's theme is inspiration. Crown Tournament. So with Crown Tournament, quite often you'll hear a combatant talk about his consort or her consort or their consort, about how that person is inspiring them that day and why they want to fight for them. So this is Eldemir's chance to write to us, and we will be happy to read your letters about how you're inspired by somebody within this kingdom. We felt often the combatants get an opportunity to talk to the kingdom and talk about their inspiration at Crown Tournament, at Tournoi, when people are introducing who they're fighting for and why. And we felt this would give a way for people to talk about, who aren't combatants, to talk about the people around the kingdom that inspire them. So you can, if you want to be the one who presents the words yourself, you can send us a short video, or when you go to the tidings letter, we'll also put it on the kingdom webpage and on our Facebook page. There will be a link. There is a form that you can fill out with your name and your email address and who inspires you and what you want to say about that. So either we can read your words, or you can video yourself saying your words, or if you want to write your words on, because with way better handwriting than I have, it has to be legible, please. You can submit them and write it like nicely written, a photograph, and we'll put that up on the screen so people can see your writing. But we thought this would give a way for people to talk about, because there's just so many people, inspiring people in this kingdom and do so many amazing things. And this way it'll give other people a chance, those people, like I said, that aren't combatants, to say how they're inspired. Exactly. And if you don't want to actually have, you can ask us not to say. It can be anonymous. Yeah, if you don't want to tell us, like, everybody know who it is from, then we will be happy to just read it out as anonymous. We will do that. But we're looking from Eldemir looking forward to Eldemir giving us stories of inspiration. Because October would normally be Crown Tournament. So we thought, Crown Tournament fought with the inspiration of their consorts, and this way we can talk about all the inspiring people in the kingdom. Exactly. And November. Ooh, November. So November is many times a month of arts and science. In the past, it's been Kingdom ANS. We've had QPT, which is arts and science competition. So November's theme is plank projects. So we will be working at that point towards getting maybe short videos. People can talk about what they've been working on while they've been stuck at home during these plague times. So I don't know. I know our plague projects have been a lot of renovating while we're stuck in our house. But we would love to see other people's plague projects. So your plague projects could be anything arts and sciencey. It could,
Anything you've worked on
doesn't have
during
to
this
be
time of plague.
about the plague, just what you've been working on during the plague.
Modern as well as SCA projects, Your Majesty?
Sorry?
Modern as well as SCA projects, or do you just want SCA projects?
I think we will take both, but we'd be happy to put up bigger highlight on the SCA projects.
Like I said, our projects have been a lot of renovating, so.
My project has been importing spear shafts for my husband.
I've heard that. I think he's really hoping that the 6-foot rule includes spears. Okay, so then we've got
Eldamir at home?
Eldamir at home. Eldamir at home is looking for no crap, there I was stories.
So as we said earlier, Colin and Thorpedo have been doing a lot of work on Eldamir at home, and they could use some assistance, but what they're looking for right now is the no crap, there I was stories, which I understand will be narrated and acted out. I'm not going to release all the details. I think there's some coming up in the next episode of Eldamir at Home, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and we really want to hear everybody's stories too. So
Exactly. I think if you send out in some interesting, fun stories to Colin and Thorfina, then we are going to have a hoot of a time. So,
and children's stories too, because I don't know if everybody saw the children's story about fairies acted out. That was just hilarious, and I need a bear witch mermaid. I mean, oh my goodness. So yes, submissions for Eldamir at Home, children's stories, and no crap, there I was stories.
Yeah. And the only other thing that we can really think of is if you guys have any ideas out there, we need them. The mystery came out of the blue to us, and we think it's a wonderful idea. It's been great. Thank you very much for suggesting that. It's been a wonderful time. I think everybody seems to be having fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Except those of us that have been falsely accused, Your Majesty.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I hear there's still more interviews to be done, so I'm just going to have to reserve my decision on this until all of the evidence is out there, Your Grace. So, yes, quite concerned about Baron Daffin.
As am I. As are we all.
We all are concerned.
So other than that, I think that's all I have. Do you have anything else other than?
I think other than to say thank you to everybody who has, like I said, we've put a lot of people on the scroll of honor this evening. At some point when we get them, we will have tokens, and we are going to spend more postage sending out tokens to a lot of people who've been doing some awesome stuff. So yeah, I think we can wrap up court and say thank you to everybody for coming this evening. And there's still more after the court portion, but we're going to close court. We have some time with Duchess Adrielle. We're not sure about whether we've made good decisions here or not, but we're going to allow her to ask us questions, and we haven't seen them in advance, so this could be good, could be bad, we don't know.
You see me running?
And then there will be Bardic until people want to stop singing, or Dietrich says he's had enough and he wants everybody to log off so we can go to bed. So if you could close court, Duchess Ryland, that would be
Then, Your Majesties, with great pleasure. Herein closes the court of their Royal Majesties of Eldamir, and your Grace, take it away.
No, you can't do this to me, Your Grace.
What did we do? What did we do? Hello, Your Grace.
Hey, Your Majesties, you invited this, so you know that which you wish on yourself, you cannot flee. I don't know if you noticed, their Majesties Aethelmark have joined us.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I did see that pop up. Hello, hello, and welcome.
Yep. So don't be too afraid. Like, you know, this is the first time I'm doing this too. So who knows? Maybe if this catches on, we'll do some more interviews with yourselves or other people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start off with one that was posed to me, and that I've actually posed to you myself, but other people have asked me. All of us has noticed that you have continued to wear the heirs' coronets, although you are the king and queen currently. Would you care to share with the kingdom why you're choosing not to wear the kingdom, the traditional crowns of the king and queen?
Absolutely. We stepped up quietly with no ceremony due to the circumstances of the plague. We've decided that we want to wear the heirs' coronets until Queen Kayla and King Trembrandt get the proper decoronation ceremony.
We don't currently have two crowns, though, just saying.
No, agreed, but they're not wearing them, and we're...
I mean, they're graces. All right, Adrielle, be quiet.
I think part of it is too, is that because this is our first reign, there's something that part of the ceremony of the
placing the coronet on the head is a big part of it for sure, and that's a big part of it. But
okay.
So at this point in time, we kind of consider the game on timeout.
So we just wanted to check, because, you know, there's been this theft of bodies in the kingdom. As regalia minister, I want to make sure that the kingdom crowns have not been stolen, because that might make me freak out just a little bit.
Are you twitching over there?
I understand they are quite safe. Quite safe. I
pity the fool who tries to steal from Queen Kayla.
Bring it! Sorry, I can't control the puppet.
But definitely part of it for us has been the fact that we haven't been able to have an actual ceremony yet where they're transferred to us, and we're really hoping that this plague will let us be able to do that in the spring.
Okay. I'm gonna just kind of jump all over the place, if that's cool with your Majesties.
Of course.
Absolutely.
You were talking about projects earlier, how you're wanting to see everybody's projects that they're working on. A lot of us have go-to music or movies or TV things. Yes, I know it's mundane. Deal with it, people. That we binge while we're working on our projects. What are each of your go-to music / video, whatever?
I'm an avid YouTube watcher, so I'll have something on in the background. A lot of documentaries.
Documentaries?
Yes.
No, he watches videos of MREs being opened in and sometimes frisbee golf.
Yeah,
the
frisbee
YouTube
golf.
videos,
Yeah.
frisbee golf. I like to binge TV shows that I have watched hundreds of times so that they play in the background. So I tend to binge watch Doctor Who or Supernatural. Those are my
all right, and with your training of Buttercup Sprinkles,
yes,
perhaps you can be inspired by the musical ride and maybe some Prancercise. What kind of music does Buttercup Sprinkles like?
Oh, Buttercup Sprinkles is definitely a classical boy. You know,
so
the entire time he's doing his dressage, he's extending his trot, he's collecting himself, and then when the crescendo comes, he explodes forward.
Alrighty. So you mentioned watching YouTube stuff, Your Majesty.
Yes.
There are a great number of YouTube SCA shows that have sprung up from all the different kingdoms, everything from fighting to arts and sciences to classes to interviews. Are there any that you've taken to watching? I myself watch Between Two Peers. quite regularly. It's on Friday nights and is quite hysterical, and usually it's a drinking game, so that's kind of why I'm into it, as well as some of the night's discussions. But are there any of the SCA productions that you've been into that are outside of our own kingdom?
Yeah, I've been watching. Sorry, we've been watching a lot of the Barony of Three Rivers recorded stuff that from the
Bardic, yep, on Friday nights.
Yeah. The other thing is I've been participating in the Friday nights Barony of Three Rivers Bardic. They do a weekly Bardic on Zoom every Friday night.
Yeah. Yeah. I pop in occasionally on that one.
Yeah, I've seen you.
What about you, Your Majesty?
I have been the Crown Between Two Roses. I don't know. We kind of put that out there to the kingdom. There's two countesses out of Lockhart that have been interviewing the crowns. Our interview is next weekend.
Yeah.
But so that's been interesting, kind of the questions, seeing how different kingdoms do things, maybe ones that we don't interact with as often. What else? We invaded Nanciora an event earlier today.
That's true.
Sang some songs and
had a good chat about Baldric and how he's a bad influence on Nanciora, as bad as anywhere else.
yes, actually we planned when we could all get together again using Baldric Scotch instead of any of our own.
Yes.
Sounds good. Nanciora also likes tequila.
Yes.
They've been known to host a tequila tasting or two that I can vaguely recall. And
I'm okay with that. As a regular member of the tequila squad, I'm okay with tequila as well. So, and
last Gulf Wars, we actually had, I think, like 38 bottles of tequila on the table at one point in time. Wow. And then we just kind of stopped counting.
There's a point where we just stop counting.
There becomes a point where you just can't count.
and then Sven goes, it's time.
And we have watched at least one episode of AE Live. I think one or two. We caught some.
Yeah. Got to turn everything into a drinking game, right?
Exactly. I think I can eat more alcohol now.
We're in the PG part of the evening as opposed to the G part. So
yes. In all fairness, I fought Maynard, and this is a tougher fight tonight with you, Adrielle.
I'm playing nice. Come on.
You're doing awesome.
I'm playing nice. What's your most cherished Eldemirian tradition and why?
For me, I love the tradition of going into Penzic singing, into opening ceremonies, singing as a kingdom. It's always struck me since the first time I was involved in it.
Okay. Your Majesty, Isabel?
It isn't always done, but I like the ancient and honorables after a combatant is on crown, and that's the first.
What? You mean the crowns that Norshield wanted to cut up and put in their furniture?
Yeah, no, I am so glad.
I wonder who got those back.
I mean, for us, neither of us were in the SCA, but like Eldemir was always a kingdom as far as our SCA goes. So to have been part of that history, yeah, I think that's one of my favorite traditions.
For those who are watching that don't know, the original coronets that get placed on the victors' heads at Crown Tournament are from the Middle Kingdom, which we are a kingdom that we came from. And as a child of the dragon, they were given to us. And then when Norshield became a kingdom, we gifted them to Norshield. However, Norshield never really used them. So at one point in time, we asked for them back, and they may have been smuggled out of the kingdom when their king got really mad at his curious answer to his question about sending them back to us.
Well, I'm glad we have them back, and I was honored.
I love having them back. They are the one piece of regalia that lives in my house all the time. Is there any Eldemarian tradition that you just can't wrap your head around, and then you're still like, what the fuck? I mean, what the heck?
The
There's
12th
got to be
night,
something. Come on.
the 12th night codpiece nose that people wear.
Okay, it's not a codpiece nose. In Septentry, it's the nose of shame.
It's
It's the penis.
It's definitely,
But, you know,
it's definitely phallic with golf balls. Yes.
maybe if you got to spend some time wearing it, you might become more comfortable with that tradition. Just a
No,
thought.
I don't see that.
It would bring out the blue in the heirs coronet. It's quite lovely.
That is true.
So, because we can see some of the questions for those that are not aware, I'm sure we can dig up a photo. Adrielle, you got a photo of it?
Of what? Oh, the nose of
the-
shame?
Of
Yes.
the,
Do you want me to
Probably
look
has-
at it?
You have the nose of shame,
she
don't
has the
you?
nose of shame. There you go.
All right, amuse yourself.
Everybody's
Talk-
learning
wait. I'm going to give you something to talk about while I'm gone.
Good idea.
I want to know what personality trait has gotten you in the most trouble, and Her Majesty has to go first.
Yay.
Oh, the
Personality trait that's gotten you in the most trouble.
I think the personality trait that continues to get me in the most trouble is sometimes I speak faster than my filter can prevent me, and
Oh, really? You do?
and because of it, all kinds of lots of things I'm his brand, and sometimes yes, we often
Behold the mighty blue shaft.
this is the
This is the nose of shame that I do not understand at all.
yes.
Well, you have just, I'm going to have to shame you with the nose of shame at some point in the future, then, Your Majesty.
So yeah, so back to the question. I would say saying things, yes, that sometimes come out of my mouth before my filter stops them. That definitely gets me into trouble.
What the heck's wrong with that? Nothing! Nothing at all! Sorry.
So yeah.
Go on.
Oh,
No,
me
you're
now?
up.
My turn now? Oh, I was hoping to avoid this one. Yes, I did have a codpiece of shame at once. It was actually some other thing. So for me, I would say the big thing for me is cockiness and stubbornness, which don't necessarily go hand in hand all the time, but you know, you get to be cocky about something and then don't want to admit you're wrong. That's probably me.
Just don't make me ever have to say to you, fluke, not a duke.
That's fair.
If you get cocky, that's what I'll say to you, okay?
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, deal.
You'll say it to me anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I've never found you particularly cocky, Your Majesty, so you're probably more self-conscious of it than anyone else is. So, alrighty, let's see. So, you guys know one of my favorite phrases, and have been to the land where the phrase came from. Cherish the goobs. In this time where we're all having to participate online and virtually and be creative, it's kind of easier, I suspect, for those of us who have been around a long time and who are peers and who have their awards. What do you think we can do to reach out to the goobs, to cherish the goobs, to make sure that they don't wander off and get lost from the SCA during this time of no events?
It's such a hard question right now. Like everybody trying to stay focused and try and keep involved. I think trying to stay positive is the big thing right now.
And by goob, sorry to interrupt. I'm just clarifying on the chat. Goob is like a newbie, and it's not meant to be dismissive at all. It's like cherish the goob. It means you should love them because eventually that goob's going to be your crown. So cherish the goob. So I'm not being dismissive at all. So
yeah, no. I think, yeah, for people who've been in the SCA a long time, we are, I mean, not necessarily us because we're clearly in a different position, but most of the people who've been in the SCA a long time are like, we can wait this out. And I think it is definitely harder for our new people because we definitely have new people that have not even been able to make it to an event yet because everything is locked down.
Have you thought about like randomly calling one up or just like text messaging them? Like on Facebook, like just reach out to a random Kingdom Goob and like, hey, what are you doing today?
I don't know if you can reach our word right now.
But we haven't, I'm a little, I don't want to scare people off either, but at the same time, anybody, if you message me, I will respond. If you message him, we'll respond. So, and I know that we've done this. We've had a few people who are brand new that have reached out to us privately. We will respond and help you any way we can.
I know Thorfina and Colin have been great, including the new people in Eldamir at home. Yep. They've been fantastic about it. And I think it's great that you respond to somebody if they reach out to you. I'm going to kind of put a challenge out there to those of us who have been around a bit longer that that each one of us before the next Court of Their Majesties reach out and engages with a new person online or by phone or something, just to let them know that, you know, we're going to need them.
Yep.
So that's my challenge through you to the peers and everybody.
I think that one of the things I want to say is that, especially to anybody that's new right now, I am horrible with names. Then I got to learn your real name, and I got to learn your SCA name because of the way Facebook works now. It's so much different.
People only get one name.
So because of that, come talk to me. After 2 or 3 times, I'm going to recognize the face. I guarantee it. I apologize if I'm not right away. I don't recognize you. After 15, 16 years that I've been in the SCA, let's not even talk about how long Adrielle has been in the SCA. You meet thousands of new people. Yeah. So don't be afraid to approach people and talk about something that's you're interested in, and if they're interested in it, it makes conversations happen naturally. Mm-hmm. That's why there's always people say there's a fighter clique. Well, the fighters, we like talking about no crap, there I was stories.
And they also,
but we have A&S cliques too. We call it UPT.
Yeah. So, and I think just looking at the comments, somebody did ask how they can reach out to us. People can reach out to us by email. There's eldamircrown @gmail.com. That email address is on the Kingdom website. You can private message us on Facebook. Part of the reason we created the Facebook page for us is that messages sent to the Facebook page will go to both of us that we can respond. And then that way too, that's another place that we're posting. We plan to post the things that we're doing or upcoming challenges. Like we've got the mass challenges up there. We're going to be posting our tidings letters each month. And so that's a way for people to contact us as well, because sometimes Facebook filters out messages if the person is in front of your friends.
And they're easy to lose.
Yeah.
Yes.
So easy to lose. So
yeah.
But as a former Crown populace, reach out to them because they really do. They really want, like, you know, we want to connect with the people. I'm sure they want to connect with the people. We're all lonely, damn it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw Rubius. Rubius asked if he could talk about dance. Absolutely, talk to me about dance. I guarantee my eyes are going to cross over because I don't understand half of it. But I can
exercise. It's going to happen.
But I can also guarantee that I consider fighting to be a style of dance. Mm-hmm. So who leads is who wins. Some will respond better to it than others, but definitely find the people that are interested in what you're interested in.
Yeah. And
So-
and if you reach out to us too, we can hook you up with people throughout the kingdom that maybe have similar interests. I'm not hooking you up. That's not what I meant.
Me?
No. But we do know a few people in the kingdom. So if there are new people and they have interests and they're not sure who to reach out for information about that interest, we can help connect people as well.
Because
Okay, so going back to when you started out, when you were the goob,
yep.
where did you find inspiration? Who helped shape what personas you chose, and who were your?
So I would say fighting wise, that was Sir Evander and Sir Siegfried for me at the beginning. They definitely got me traveling all over the place. As far as clothing goes, somebody kept coming up to me and says, "That's a pretty nice shirt for a bridesmaid there. Here, first one's free." I believe that was Adrielle that said that to me and handed me my first 14th century so yeah, so that's kind of where the influence for me started, was when you gave me that first outfit, and I found it way more comfortable than what I was wearing, and went, "Holy crap, this is a t-shirt and shorts. This is great." And I've been kind of there since.
For me, he was already in the SCA, and so I'm here because of him. And so, and people may not realize it now, but I'm incredibly shy. So for the first year and a half, I spent way more time with fighters than I maybe wanted to. So then I figured I needed to.
That's why you have no sense of smell.
Broken. It's totally broken, right? So, and I used to go through photos taken by Master Eric and by Baron Alexander and go, "Ooh, I like what that person's wearing." And then I would go to my friends and say, "Do you know how do I make this? What is this? Where is it from?" And Your Grace, many of those outfits were yours.
Thank you.
And again, she's always willing to give first one free.
Exactly. Don't tell their Majesties if they'll mark that. Shh. Okay, let me see. I had a good question. I got to find it now because I actually wrote things down. Think about that. How crazy is that I actually planned?
We are kind of keeping an eye on the chat as well, but it sometimes flies past pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So if you miss something
Yeah.
and you have a question, ask it again. One of us might see it, or maybe we saw it and chose.
Okay, Seven
Is that
Deadly
the
Sins.
Edmund that's blinking, or is that Maynard? I'm not sure which one.
Seven Deadly Sins. Which is your favorite?
Raph.
Come on.
Raph. It's always Raph.
Rap is your favorite?
Yes.
Sloth.
Yeah, I'm all about the raft too. Okay, so what, on the other side of that coin, what virtue would you say you each struggle with the most?
Which one do I struggle with?
Yes, Pasha, we already ate all the punch and pie. You're too late.
Which one do you struggle with?
All of them. You first.
No.
I know the sins much better. I'm much more acquainted with the sins.
I know, we can like order the, okay, let's order the sins and like which is our, yeah, but no. I know the virtues are harder, but which one do you struggle with the most?
I guess for me would be humility.
You think you're an arrogant prick?
I can be. You don't realize it, but I can be. It's usually all.
Well, probably because I'm the one that slaps you when you do.
That's quite true. Yeah, it's especially when you're having a good fighting day and stuff, and you're like, yeah, bring it. Bring it.
Let me introduce you to my friend Brahmas.
You know, and then I get humiliated.
Maynard, perhaps you'd like to meet Rattanicus. And you, Your Majesty, Isabel?
I'm even struggling to remember what they are. Struggle is real.
There is, okay, the virtues. See, you're asking me to remember the virtues. Like, really? Really?
No, I got the. I got.
You want me to go get my helmet?
I'm seeing the list pop up in the chat. I know those.
there's humility, faith, justice, courtesy, generosity, because there's more than 7. Franchise, prowess.
Well, that's fine.
I said franchise, Pesha. Sorry, I'm yelling at my dependents on your line. Sorry.
I see that. I see that. That's okay. Sometimes I struggle with courage. We're looking at the list. I would say I struggle with courage sometimes. There's definitely times where I feel after the fact that I should have been stronger. I should have said something or done something in a situation and didn't. And that to me is courage. And I sometimes struggle with that.
Yeah, I struggle with that one myself as well. So I got more questions, but it's up to you as to how long do you want this craziness to go on for.
Well, eventually people will say, stop it and let us sing. So let's.
Oh, Grandma Grimmikushkin, slashing on the morning, Grandma Grimmikushkin, lan, lan, lan. Oh, Grandma Grimmikushkin, lan.
And I also struggle with not having enough cheesecake.
I hate cheesecake, so you can have mine.
Okay, I love cheesecake, so.
But you can't have my bacon. So,
I like
sorry.
bacon. Oh, fine.
Yeah.
How about a couple more questions and then.
Well, Your Grace, will you drink her sortilage?
No, I don't like sortilage.
That was, Her Grace made the ultimate sacrifice and drank my sortilage so that my cup could be filled with gin instead. Thank you.
Yes, because I'm all about the gin jug, and the gin and tonic is important because it burns clean.
Your face was great though.
It fights the scurvy and the malaria.
I personally love.
There's like
I like sortilege and I like gin, not in the same cup.
And there's apparently giant killer mosquitoes in Michigan, I hear. So the gin will protect you from those and the malaria.
Oh, well, that's important.
Yes.
So how about a couple more questions, and then we can go on with the bardic and some singing.
Alrighty.
On later.
If you saw a peer being less than heroic, if you saw a peer being a dick, what would you do?
I would like to think I would say something at the time, but sometimes that's not necessarily the way to do it. Number one, I'd want to, this is going to sound bad, but not necessarily embarrassing a peer in front of somebody else is no better than what they were doing at the time. So is it the time and place to talk about it? That's where it becomes hard. Doesn't mean I'm not going to advocate in the background and say, what the hell?
Okay.
But at the same time, there's a time and a place for, I guess it depends on what it is. If somebody's dressing somebody down, and I'm likely to say, come on, what are you doing that for? But
why you gotta be that guy? But
at the same time, is it doing any better at that point by
somebody says like abducting a baron?
Like,
well, we didn't see the abduction, so
and that would seem to allege that a peer did the abduction.
That's true. Hey, I put out the call. I put out the call saying,
hey, I didn't do it. So would your reaction be be different if it was somebody who wasn't a peer? Like, what if it was somebody who you didn't know and you saw them engaging in somewhat dickish behavior?
I don't think so, because I've seen that in the past and I haven't treated it any differently. I don't, you know, like if somebody's for example, somebody's breaking out the rules, like on the rules of the list, and I think they've done something wrong, I'm going to call them on it right then and there, because I've done that to both knights and non-knights.
We all need to do that more.
Yeah.
Yes, Adrielle, I agree with you for once.
Yeah. But if somebody's dressing somebody down and that is just being a dick, you're right. Like, I don't.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to want to talk to both sides and try and figure out what the heck's going on, number one.
Or
So-
at least maybe
you know.
diffuse the situation. It can be hard. I think there's difficulty when you're the crown to intervene, but as a peer, sometimes unintentional, like whether you realize it or not, your words are taken differently than as a non-peer, and you have to kind of gauge that too when you're talking to people, especially if it's somebody that you don't know.
Here's a question that just popped in my mind. So when you and all the other crowns had your telephone conferences with the board of directors for the suspension of events to the end of January 2021.
We had a conversation.
Yeah. Were you guys part of that conversation,
Not with the board of directors. We were part of
There was
a petition put out by all the kingdoms.
there were discussions amongst the crowns through emails and stuff prior to the petition being sent to the bod, and I spoke to our ombudsman about our thoughts and where we were coming from on it.
So what was the shortest range people wanted to consider and the longest range people wanted to consider?
The end of January was pretty much what most, I think 15 out of 17 crowns wanted. The longest,
There's more
I
than
think,
17 crowns.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Sorry, Knights. It was North American crowns, sorry.
18 North American crowns.
crowns, and I think 16 crowns.
Just checking.
I think that there wasn't a lot of discussion about maybe the length of
I
time.
think there was a few that
looked at
wanted it
as-
till the end of, like, to April, I think is what a couple of them wanted, from what I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Right. Okay.
Basically, when we approached, the crowns approached the bod, we were looking for guidance. Most of us were looking for guidance at that point in time.
Well, rather than asking for 100 variances, and
Exactly.
it just, everybody's hopes would get built up every month, and then you'd have to crush them again and build them up. So I think it's better for morale in the long run to have an end date.
Well,
So
and
I
this
totally
way-
get why the decision was made.
Yeah, and this way too, like a lot of it was being put on the crowns and the kingdom officers. I mean, yes, we do know what's best for our kingdoms. Each kingdom is different, but it's an awful lot of pressure to be putting on the kingdoms and the crowns and the kingdom officers to have to tell their populace over and over and over again, we know you guys want to hang out, but not yet. And this,
Mom and Dad had to
You
keep
have
telling us
groups.
to go back to our room.
yeah,
And you have
then
groups that are planning events 3-4 months ahead.
they need to be
they-
able to know not to worry about planning anything until January. So, I mean, and at this point, who knows? I mean, as we had to announce tonight, we had to roll back again to phase 1. So this way, we don't have groups trying to plan events that can't happen. Not that there's any sites they could rent at this point anyway in Ontario, but I think it, for us, we felt it was important, even though Ontario is kind of dictating for us when we can be open and when we can't anyway, we felt it was important to show solidarity with the other kingdoms that are where
Well, we're all in this together, right? And we don't wanna
government
break any of our
isn't as helpful. So, so hopefully we can have events come winter. We have no idea when we'll be able to have a crown tournament because the province of Ontario is still restricting martial activities completely. So even if they increase the numbers for people to be able to attend events again, and we're hoping, we want to see that indoor number to be 200 before we really open, because that's the only way we can have events, at least 100, 200 people to have indoor events before we can do.
I'd say, yeah, it's a long time since we've had an event with 200 people at it.
We get between 100 and 200 for crowns, coronations, tournois, some of our larger events.
QPT gets close to 200. We get 191, but yeah.
Exactly. So we figured 200 people give us kind of the most number of people, but it still doesn't mean we'll necessarily be able to have fighting right away. So I'm just hoping we can have an event or something come January, February kind of thing.
So I'm trying to think of other questions. How important is it for you personally when you, be it crown or not crown, but to elevate your own behavior to show your own peerage in its best light? Do you feel you bear the perception of your peerage on your shoulders, for like as a collective? Am I making sense?
I'd like to think so. Like, I'm very happy with the show of support that the chivalry gave, making the statement that we don't want to screw up stuff, that we want to do better. Getting back to that question where you asked, would I do anything? As a knight, and if I believe in my oath, yes, I have to do something. So, but then again, the courage comes in at that point in time. So it's a matter of, trying to get things figured out. And I'm proud of the way the order has come together. And I do believe everybody that was involved in that declaration from the Order of Chivalry believes everything they signed there. And they will do everything they can to.
What about you, Your Majesty, Isabel?
I hope.
Yeah, I see how you let him talk first all the time? And just let him, you hope he just gonna carry on so that you won't have to talk?
What?
She does that.
No, I would not do that. I hope that, and I do try to live up to the honor that was bestowed upon me, being made a peer, being a pelican, and just being the crown right now. Just lead by example. That's why we've been so involved in the online content too, to stay visible, to help people still, like, we're still here, we're riding this out with you. So hopefully I do, and if I screw up, please someone tell me. I am okay. Oh, I know Adrielle will, but other people can too. We're used to hearing it from her.
There was a question,
So,
how did we meet?
No, pardon?
There's a question.
There's a question, how did we meet? So
we met through a mutual friend.
friends. Yeah. One of my friends from high school.
Maybe they want to know how you met me.
How did your Majesties meet?
Yeah. Read the question, Adrielle.
I think you threw a shirt over my shoulder and said, "Here, first one's free."
No, a high school friend of mine and his Majesty, they were co-workers, and I had a barbecue at my house with a whole lot of friends, and said, yeah, you can bring other people, and the more the merrier. So the first couple times we met, it was because I was having a barbecue, and he came with our mutual friend, Edward Fouchon, and then who was in the SCA, and they were in the SCA together, and just kind of went from there, and now you all are stuck with me. So he thank you, or I'm sorry.
There's been an interesting comment on the chat that we're taking a very non-medieval approach to the plague, that we should all be going on crusade. I would argue that I personally am going on crusade weekly to the LLCBO. and I make my offerings to the shrine, and I get some of the holy water, and I bring it home and I pray and I drink it, and then I have to go back to the shrine and make some more donations to get some more of the holy water. So I guess it just depends, you know, where you want to take your crusade to for that person making that comment. Sorry, just
I mean, we have definitely been making sure that we have been consuming alcohol to ensure that we do not catch it. We just want to make sure that we're cleansed.
It's the only way to make sure.
Cleansed.
Inside
let me get my citrus in me now so that I don't have to worry about scurvy.
Well,
Our favorite event both in and outside of the kingdom. Well, he's pouring us both a cleansing beverage. I'll answer that one first. So my favorite event outside of the kingdom, and I know a lot of people might think that it's Pennsic, which is pretty awesome. I really like Market Day at Burka. We've been going, not for the market, not for the market. I mean, there's some nice things and interesting things at the market, but I like going. I like and part of it is because of going with people, the road trip aspect of it. Until the last 2 times, it was a girls' weekend with my Laurel and friends, and so the drive down and just they're just so welcoming down there, and I love going. I love the fashion show that they do every year at Burka and stuff, and just seeing how the other kingdoms, you know, seeing how they do things down there. Although I don't often sit for court because their court's very long, and sometimes you get halfway through court and you realize that you didn't really want all that sortilege that's in your cup, and then you have to get rescued, and Her Grace brings you her gin. Thank you.
And makes a really funny face because she won't give up her cup.
and Her Grace has to
drink
drink
it.
it.
And my favorite event in Kingdom is Trillium War. And the reason Trillium War is my favorite event is it was my, because I don't do anything small, Trillium War was my first event. 12 years ago. Trillium War was my first event. And so it also has a special place in my heart for, that's where I was put on visual for my Pelican. And it was the first event that he brought me to, though.
It was.
All right.
For me, I'm with you. I think Lily's is my favorite out of kingdom event. Pennsic is so go all the time. It's huge. It's a lot of fun. Lily's is like going to a week-long Trillium War where you can kind of do as much or as little as you want. You can kind of socialize. You do a bit of fighting. You do a little bit of that.
Unless you're the event staff.
It was definitely a chill week.
Exactly. Exactly. In Kingdom, I'm partial to, there's 2 I'm actually partial to. My favorite is Tournoi the Court of Glass because I love the pageantry of it all. Big surprise, and I started the event. The other one is the L'Empress. Your paw is actually one of my favorites.
Oh, the Emprise.
Ermine Star.
The Emprise?
Yeah, we have hopes of doing that again.
Yeah, that.
So now
and again, it comes down to the pageantry of it all. Lady Mary is up there as well, for sure.
There's just a lot of fun events in the kingdom, so it's hard to narrow it down. But
all right. Well, I'm sure people would love to listen to you all night, but I'm sure they're tired of listening to me. So and I'm sure they. Oh, Alfred says no. Well, it is 8:30. I'm sure people would love to sing, so we could also do this another time, a different night. If Your Grace, if you would be willing to do it again, people can send you their questions.
Stinky milk.
How bad could it be? How bad could it be? One question, stinky milk or delicious dark chocolate.
Stinky milk. Stinky milk.
Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Your Majesties, for allowing me to do this, and for asking me to do this. And certainly, I am always here to serve the crown and do what I can. So, if you would like me to do so again, I will.
Absolutely.
Well, We would love it if you would. And thank you so very, very much, Your Grace, because this has just been a lot of fun. We knew it would be. That's why we asked you.
Oh, it won't be as nice next time.
Ooh.
Perhaps we'll have a drinking game involved in it. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to sign off so they can let people are going, yes, drinking game. Okay. I will come up with a questions and a drinking game, and maybe there'll be a secret word. Now I got to like think up rules for all this thing. Shenanigans! Yay!
Shenanigans! Thank you.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Your Grace.
We should pass it over to the Honorable Lord Dietrich.